Good morning, Delray Beach. I'm Amanda.
I'm Jamel.
And we are here at the incredible Spady Cultural Heritage Museum.
Yes. This place is really in the heart of Northwest 5th Avenue. This is really was more of like the downtown district for African Americans. I don't know what years it was, but back in the time before I was born.
Back in my day.
Back in my day. But so if you come down Northwest, if you come down 5th Avenue, and it looks different from a lot of the streets here on the north side of Delray, this is why this is a historic avenue.
I mean, the building is beautiful,
Yes.
and you really can feel the love in this building. And I think this is what, and we talk about it every week, why Delray Beach is so special, is we have so many little beautiful gems.
Yes.
Right off the Ave, because everybody thinks, Atlantic Ave, and yeah, Atlantic Ave is great, we're not saying it's not, but there's so many important, incredible places scattered off of Atlantic Ave.
Yes, I think with the city, the CRA really investing into this area, I think is really beautifying everything that's coming on. So there's a big project that's happening, a block north of here, a block south of here as well. I know they're doing a lot with the businesses to beautify the storefronts and the buildings. So, it's great. I really love it.
Yeah, we have a busy show today.
Very busy.
But before we get into the show, we have to make a special announcement.
It's my birthday.
Luis's birthday.
Happy birthday, Luis.
Happy birthday, Luis. Luis, are we able to get you to come from the back? So Luis is behind every show.
He has the switchboard.
Pushing all the buttons, making sure the names come up right, even when we say them wrong. He is the man behind the scenes with his incredible team from Studio Baral, and we're so lucky to have him.
He's back there blushing.
He is blushing. He's like, I'm not coming out. You two be quiet. He's like, don't turn the camera on me. Nothing to see, folks. But we wanted to make sure we gave him a big shout out for his birthday.
Yes.
And we have another shout out that we had to.
So Bill Dorton. Dorton.
Take a step back and let's start with.
Yes, let's just show the video first, and then we'll come
right.
back. We'll come back. Let's show you the video on how we're gonna do this piece.
Actually, we should do. No, I wasn't thinking that. No, what if we do what if we auction? We'll take somebody to brunch or lunch, and we'll go. They can hang out with us and go have brunch and lunch.
Okay, I like that idea.
Brunch and
That's
lunch.
good.
Or lunch.
Yeah,
Brunch or lunch. We'll keep on making it bigger. Brunch or lunch, and they can come and hang out with us.
I love that.
People are going to be like, I don't want to hang out with those two crazy people.
I don't think anybody will bid on that.
I'll bid on it. Just a worst case, I'll take off your dog. Yeah. See, we got a few bids already. So I don't know if you can do that, but if somebody wants to have a brunch or a lunch with us, we'll take them out.
I like that idea. Yes.
See, I said both of us. I know you thought I was going to say just you, and all the ladies out there are like, wait, can I have a date with him? But I was, I put us both.
Right. So let me tell you, Bill Dorton and Mackenzie were going back and forth at the Love Boat auction.
I was at another event and I'm getting text. She's like, I'm trying. Bill keeps outbidding me.
The only thing I have to say is that they started our bid off at $30.
I know, guys. Together, we're only worth $30 to you.
But we did go for a whopping $190?
I don't know, but thank you, Bill. Whatever we were worth to you.
Bill Dorton at Pure Life.
And I have to say, Bill, I spent a lot of money on your delicious salads for lunch, so we're supporting you right back.
All right, Bill's probably training somebody right now. I know he wakes up like at 3 o'clock in the morning and starts training.
No,
so
thank you.
Somebody tag Bill and tell him that, yes, we're going to brunch.
All right, well, should we get this party started?
Let's get this party started. Yes.
All right, I'm going to move the beautiful cake.
You can bring it right here in front of me.
No, you have to share. You have to share with the others. Okay, I guess, the cake's fine. We'll move, if you move that way so we can fit all our guests.
I'm sorry.
We got a lot of guests coming. We got to make room.
Yes. So you introduce our first guest.
Okay.
Or the first.
So, you gave me the biggest group.
Yes.
All right, Jamil. Okay, guys, haven't had my coffee yet. Okay, so we have Miss Charlene, who is the executive director here at the Spady Cultural Heritage Museum. We have Miss Kenya, the senior director of Healthier Delray Beach. We have Mr. Edward, the museum educator here at Spady Cultural Heritage Museum. And we have Michael, who is an International Yoga Day.
Well, he's a yoga instructor.
He's a yoga instructor. I'm trying to look at this, Mike. I'm like, what is happening here? Okay, so you are a yoga instructor, and you will be doing International Yoga Day. All right, I got it right, I think.
Yes, you did. You did a great job. You did
Hi,
great.
everyone.
I have a question before we start.
Yes.
Can I run my finger along the edge of that
Oh,
icing
yes, you
real
can.
quick?
Just don't take his balloon, though. You know, he wants his balloon on the top. Yes. Well, we are so excited to be here and be showing this incredible museum for all the people who haven't come a block off the Ave.
I am so thrilled to have just a portion of our cultural partners in the room.
Yeah.
Partnership is the name of Spady Museum's game. So, yeah, we have some exciting things coming up.
Well, you want to tell us a little bit about the museum first
Sure.
for people who
Sure.
don't even know what Spady Museum is, and then we got to talk about what you guys have going on.
So I kind of want to ask Edward to talk about the Spady Museum, but I have to do this first. Very briefly.
I promise you.
Okay.
I'm working on it, guys. I don't spiel all the time. But yes, so this is the Spady Museum. It celebrates the life and legacy of Solomon D. Spady, who was an essential educator during the first few portions of Delray really being populated by African Americans as well. It's integral to know that the area, anywhere that there is a white and black population, there's a color town. This is no different than a lot of America. With that being the case, when Spady came down, many people were farmers. And so during season, they're sending their children up north. They're going up north, meaning that they are lack of attendance for their schools. With that being the case, Spady comes down. Now we have an educator helping the community understand how to elevate their education. And he's also going to bring down a lot of those amenities like running water, electricity, and the first bathroom, or the first home in the area with an indoor bathroom. My friends, if no one teaches you how to make plumbing,
Right.
you just don't make plumbing.
Right, how do you know?
Exactly, so bringing down those amenities, Spady is going to become essential for the next 4 or 5 decades, generations of people growing up in this area. Today, you will see people who are still talking about Spady's influence, and that's why we have an elementary school down the road.
Yes.
That was so much information
Indeed.
so quickly. I
There's
mean,
a lot.
I'm guessing the way Charlene, you know, when she gave us the note up front, I'm guessing that spiel is a lot
I know,
longer.
I can't wait to hear it all. I mean, we're all just like, whoa. I mean, I have the honor of getting to know Edward from his other work.
Indeed.
I mean, he's an incredible artist too, and so
Thank
to
you.
get to see him in all of his elements, I think is really cool. And I think that goes to what you were saying about earlier too, all the partners and all the people in this town that are doing so many things to make it work here.
Everyone in Delray really plays a part in what happens here at Spady Museum, why it's here, and what it could do for the community. I mean, we're here to serve our community, primarily to educate people, to get us all on the same playing field, so we can all play fairly.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, and before we move on from you, Edward, the exhibits and what's taking place right now here in the Spady Museum, can you touch on
Briefly.
Charlene's like,
It's a lot. It's deep. So, this first half of the room speaks about America's context during Reconstruction, during Jim Crow. Again, today there's a lot of controversy around America. This would all somehow be called CRT, when in reality, this is simply America's history and how they dealt with their population, whether they were white or black. Oftentimes people will assume that the systems in place are white versus black. That is false, my friends. It has been rich versus poor for the entirety of the time. And we're going to see that as you go through the exhibit and learn what really happened during Reconstruction and Jim Crow. We see that a lot of the systems that we talk about 2 centuries ago are still being talked about today. Who do we tax? What do we do about immigration? What do you do about terrorism? Domestic and foreign. How do we handle these things, and who deserves to vote? So these conversations are still happening, but they started 2 centuries ago. And so this first half of the exhibit just talks about the fact that this is the context for why we are dealing with what we are dealing with today. The back half of the room talks about Delray's segregation timeline. As I described earlier, actually before the talk, there's a red line wall right on Lake Ida. It's still there. It goes the length from 95 all the way to Swinton. It's still there. There are still black families on this side, white families on that side. It is not me saying, segregation's not over. But if you look at the demographics and areas, we still see the effects of these last 2 centuries. So it's essential that when you come into this exhibit, you realize most people only know points of each of these panels. But until you put it in a timeline, oftentimes it's difficult to really see the history that's happening right around you. So that is what we really showcase with this exhibit and what we talk about. Why this history is still happening today and the fact that we are part of that history,
Right.
still fighting for life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, democracy, and equality.
Awesome.
And I think even just the way that you have it laid out, it makes it easy for people to understand as they come in. So you can walk from item to item and get and see it, the timeline literally in front of your eyes.
Yes.
So instead of somebody saying to you, oh, this, and you're like, oh, okay, you can literally walk the timeline and see how things
Precisely.
have
A lot
happened.
of times it's hard to connect them, but that is what we're here for.
Yeah, no, amazing.
You did a great job in finding this young man.
You know what? I'm holding on to everything.
He is incredible. Oh yeah, I'm sure.
He's ours.
I do it.
Yeah.
Don't
And
worry
they're
about
like, don't touch him.
Yeah,
Don't get ideas out there.
So what other events and what other activities do you guys have coming?
Gosh. So we have a standard slate of activities. We commemorate Dr. King on his birthday. We commemorate Emancipation Day, which is May 20th. We have always commemorated Juneteenth, which is Texas's Emancipation Day, let's just clarify, on June 19th. And we celebrate our anniversary in July. We're 20 years old now, going into our 21st year. So yay. But we have some things coming up this year that are unique to the year. Specifically, we are working with the Equal Justice Initiative on recognizing 2 black men in Palm Beach County who were not just lynched, but they were part of a racial terror lynching in the 1920s. So a coalition has formed, and we are working to bring a monument down from the Equal Justice Initiative to Palm Beach County to commemorate those lynchings. There are several activities that we have to complete first. The first activity is coming up on June 18th, and it is a soil collection ceremony. So we're gonna go to the site where Mr. Samuel Nelson's body was found in 1926. We're gonna collect some soil, we're gonna bring it back to Pompey Park, and we are going to have a ceremony around transferring that soil into commemorative jars, one of which will be sent to the Equal Justice Initiative for display, one of which of course will be kept here, and there will be several others around the county. So that's coming up. June, in celebration of Juneteenth.
Are people allowed to come and be part of
People
this?
are-
Because I think there's so many people that would love to be part of such a huge moment.
Absolutely, it is open to the public,
Okay.
and we want everyone to come. The whole purpose of doing this is for healing, right? And my good friend Kenya here could talk to us about that healing.
Yeah,
Yes.
so as you all know, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and our Get Your Green On theme this year was resiliency and community healing. And a part of bringing healing to a community is unifying the folks that live in that community, whatever role that they play. We all are giving back to our community in some way or another, and we want to make sure that we don't lose the cultural components of not just our history, but what's happening in our own community. So the Juneteenth Think Tank is happening on June 18th. It's going to be a full day cultural celebration to be held at Pompey Park, and I'm going to share a lot more later when Renee comes in, but it's our opportunity to really say in unison as a community, this is how we're going to set the tone for learning about Juneteenth in our community, and creating a cultural education opportunity and a celebratory moment for our freedom. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Every time you come on, though, Kenya, I'm like teary-eyed because of all the beautiful things that you're working on and how
Oh,
many
thank you.
lives you're touching every day in all of your work.
Thank
I totally
you.
agree, and I'm sitting here, and I think
Yeah.
I started getting chills because
Yeah.
when you're talking about a community and you talking about a healing, I
Yes.
started thinking about what just happened yesterday in Texas,
yes.
and then thinking about what happened in Buffalo. So those are the things. I mean, that's what came to my mind, and I really got chills. So it's just more.
made me feel
Even
right.
though there's
I was crying all day.
there's
We
a
have neighbors to our south that are healing.
right,
Yes.
right,
Sure.
and
Same
For
context.
sure.
And it's and the same thing. And I'm looking at numbers, and it's saying 222 mass shootings, right, this year so far. And we've only been 144 days into this year, and it's been 222.
I think I heard it
So
was like 4 or 5 shootings a month now.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
so I mean And then even yesterday, it's something that I can't even really touch on. I just get chills thinking about it.
We as communities, we have to be deliberate about making some kind of change.
Yes.
We're watching our government officials, and they're going to do and say what they're going to do and say. But we have to take the responsibility of taking care of ourselves. And we have to be deliberate about directly affecting the hurt that is being caused by these shootings and helping each other.
Right.
Yes.
And I agree. And with this campaign, with what you guys are doing, you're giving people a platform. Especially these youth. This young man was 18 years old. He was going through something. He didn't have an outlet. He didn't have anybody to go and talk to. He didn't have nobody, no support system. But you guys are providing that outlet, making it really, because in our community, a lot of times we have too much pride to even want to come out and say that there's an actual issue. So now you're giving them this outlet. So, and seeing the kids at Atlantic High School and being around a lot of the youth in the community, they feel free to talk about what's going on and how they're feeling, what's going on at home, things of that nature that may prevent them from doing certain things, either to themselves or to others.
So add one more thing. It is important for us to do what we're doing, but it's also important for everyone else, those who are not yet involved, to get involved. Children especially will only really believe what is being said when they see everyone in their community agreeing to that point. If there are some people who are staying away, some people who are not lending their contribution to this effort, then they're going to question whether or not it's authentic, whether or not it is good and useful. So I'm asking everyone to get involved in some way, shape, or form in a healing exercise for our community. It's critical. It's not just our work, it's everyone's work.
Yes, I agree.
That's a beautiful call to action, because I think a lot of times too, people just don't even know where to go to get involved and help. And I think having so many resources here, if you're watching and you don't know where to go, then you're not paying attention, because there are so many things happening and so many beautiful humans in this town coming together to help us all heal and grow as a community here.
And I forgot which incident it was, but it was a couple years ago. Chuck Halbert, right? Chuck Halbert, he put out something on Facebook, and he said, you know what? I need a group of people to meet me on Atlantic Avenue. We're just going to walk up and down the avenue and give everybody hugs. We're just going to give out hugs. And it was probably about 10 of us that started, and we went from 95 all the way down to A1A, and everybody we seen, we just started giving out hugs. And it was dope. It brought smiles to everybody's faces. So it was a nice, and as we started walking, so many people started joining in. But that was one thing that really, I thought that was dope. It brought smiles to a lot of people's faces.
Small act that made a huge impact. And think about how many people maybe just needed that hug that day, and they didn't have someone to go and hug. And you guys coming up and just grabbing them, well, that sounded not. Don't just go up grabbing strangers and hugging them, especially COVID, I guess. But being there to be able to give somebody a hug who wants it, and I think that's a beautiful thing.
Right.
So I'll be remiss if I don't say on June 19th, the actual Juneteenth date, the Florida Highwaymen will be in our cottage.
Oh, they're back.
So come see them paint live, hear their historical narrative about how they got started, and buy a painting.
I have
Start
a few
your
in my
collection.
house
Yes.
we've collected. I mean, those paintings are unbelievably beautiful.
They're so beautiful. And they paint as if it's effortless.
Yes.
And me who can't do, stick figures, I'm just enthralled. I just stand there watching.
Right.
It's amazing.
So Mr. Francis.
Yes.
How you doing?
You're a yoga instructor.
Yes.
All right. So yoga, so yoga ties into this healing thing. So how does that happen with yoga?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say greetings to everyone. And can I touch on one thing that
Yes, of
Charlene
course.
said just real quick? She said taking responsibility. And one of the things that someone had told me before, there's a quote that he gave me that I think is relevant here right now. Because he said, we must take responsibility for our actions in this space-time so that we can have the ability to respond. If we don't do that, that's where we're going. We're going away from our responsibilities. So that is very true, what you're saying, and it involves everyone. Everyone, because we see the ramifications of it right now. All right, so yoga. All right, I came to Spady maybe about 6 years ago. Charlene had an exhibit in here about the Bahamians, And I was very intrigued about it because I was down in Key West one time and I saw that there was a Bahamian village there. So I came up for the exhibit, and then we started talking, and I was doing yoga down in the South, like in Fort Lauderdale, and we've been doing it down there this year for, in equation with yours, 20 years. We've been down there teaching yoga on the beach in Dania for free. We don't charge anything. You know, and so I came up and we started talking, and then I started doing some classes here. And that's how the relationship became between me and the museum here. And the benefits of yoga for us right now is very relevant because we do need to become masters of our innate feelings, you know, and our emotions, you know, and the breath work. Because it is the breath that is the most underutilized tool that we have in our possession, and it is free. You know, these are the things that I really like to talk on because through experience, because I've been a person that has, you know, dealt with anxiety and all of these things, and these are the methodologies that have allowed me to actually stop having panics and all of these kind of things. So there is power in the breath, but it is the most underutilized tool.
So everybody breathe in.
Breathe in and exhale, because those things take us out of situations. If we're able to really delve into it and, you know, just meditate on all of those kind of things.
So with your classes here, how can people come? I think because some people just don't know where they could take a yoga class.
Well, what happened because of COVID?
Oh no, COVID!
Yes, we actually took the class down to the beach. So I've been there most of the time over at Gulfstream.
What time?
Since at 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays.
Wow, that's
you know,
beautiful.
But yes, we took it over there because, you know,
to keep everyone
nobody
safe.
didn't want to really do it inside.
Right.
So we do it over there, and you know, you're welcome to come, and I don't charge anything at all.
Wow, that's so kind of you.
Because the thing is, I was given something, and I give it back. You know, unless I'm in a building, then you know you have to pay something.
Right, then you got to pay rent outside.
You know, but once I'm outside, I don't charge anything, and so during the 18th to the 21st, we're going to have a session here for International Yoga Day. Because International Yoga Day is on June 21st, which happens to be my birthday as well.
Happy birthday! If that's not a sign, I don't know what is that he found his purpose. That's very cool. That is very cool.
So,
So it's so we're going to be here on the 18th, and we're going to do a session here in the morning starting at 8 a.m. and then it's going to include a smoothie, and we're going to have the person who makes the smoothie, he's going to speak about health as well. And also there's going to be two other instructors besides me, and we're going to talk on the physiology and the modifications of yoga, and also the feminine part of the yoga as well, the divine feminine. And I'm also going to speak on some of the history of the yoga in the community as well, because we do a form of a yoga which is called Kemetic or Smaitawi, which is based on the Medjugorje, which is the old hieroglyphs that were written on the temple walls in ancient Egypt. So that's what we're going to be talking about as well.
So where can people find out more about your yoga and how they can be part of it when you have it here?
Well, I mean, I can give my my email address, and my phone number as well.
Okay, perfect.
That's fine.
Yeah, go ahead.
My email address is meekiedj@yahoo.com, and my phone number is 754-235-5197. If you text me first, that would be good, because you get so many things. They get this summer that you're talking about, but but I'm looking forward to it. We did it last year, and it's the first time that we're doing that International Yoga Day here.
So cool!
So this is great. I gotta clap it up.
I know, we got
We got to come for all of this. This is so wonderful.
So, I mean, when she talk about these partnerships, you're talking about the Spady Museum, talking about the Yoga Day. I mean, a lot of things surrounding the Juneteenth event. So this is great for the city of Delray Beach in its entirety. So we do have some other guests also.
We do, guys. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for all that you're doing
Miss
here
Charlene
in
is staying with
town.
us.
Yes. Thank you.
All righty.
Okay. Bye,
right,
gentlemen.
thank you,
Thank
guys.
you both so very much.
Absolutely.
Okay, you want to introduce our next guest, who's no stranger to the show?
Yeah, so Renee, our executive director of the Delray Beach CRA.
Hey, welcome. Okay, should we scoot back
Yeah,
this
scoot
way
back.
so that way it doesn't, we don't have a big space between us all? Welcome.
Good morning.
Hi guys.
All right.
So you always have a ton of events going on with the CRA. I feel like more and more every day we're hearing, oh, the CRA, the CRA. You and your team are working pretty much around the clock on amazing things and talking about trying to make a better place for all of us and creating affordable housing, and all the different initiatives that you have are just fantastic. So what are you here to talk about today?
Oh boy. Well, good morning again. So this one is more of a collaborative effort around Juneteenth. So I really came here to talk about Authors Speak. This was a collaboration that we reached out to Charlene at the Spady Museum and Arts Garage to talk about race and impacts on society. That's what this program was about after George Floyd's passing, or murder, I should say. I thought as a CRA, we are typically brick and mortar. That's our redevelopment. But there's so much more to redevelopment. You have to redevelop people's hearts and their minds in order to really make an impact that you can visually see.
Very true.
So we reached out. I was like, what do we do? How do we get this education out there? Because I think these situations touch people differently, and how they're changed is different as well. There were so many different meetings and groups, but people don't respond to that the same way others do. So I thought, why don't we start getting authors together? Let's come from an education standpoint.
Yes.
And let people, maybe this will touch people differently.
Right.
And I have to say, every event that we've had, you'll see one or two people in the audience come up either at the end or after to us personally and say, we never knew this. I can't believe this is what this person was going through, or this group of people. So, there's different ways to make different impacts. And this
So what authors do you have for this event?
This one is Simone Brown. She wrote Darkness Matters, A Surveillance on Blackness. This is June 16th at 7 p.m. at the Arts Garage. So you can actually go there. We are giving away the books, and you can hear her speak. And then it happens to be around Juneteenth. So through a partnership and grouping with Kenya, there were so many conversations about Juneteenth happening. We helped put together a flyer. Charlene, this is yours actually. First time debuting, that just outlines all the different things happening in Delray Beach. It's not I guess it's a community-led effort, so you won't see logos and everything all over here. We just wanted everyone to have a space to look and see where you can go and what you can do in Juneteenth for Delray Beach.
The one thing that I really like when I opened up that pamphlet is that there's so many events surrounding the Juneteenth. So, I mean, before, I can say probably 5 or 6 years ago, it's probably only one little small event that was going on, but now it has blossomed into everybody's really, commemorating this day, and there are so many events going around it. So on those days, like, you can find something, even not even on that day. I mean, it's so many things around that day.
I mean, look at how many events are happening. I mean, there is no excuse not to make it out to, this is your mock-up. Sorry, this is the mock-up. Yeah, this is mock-up. I'm like, more pages. I'm trying to tear apart their work. But I mean, so there is so many things. So if you can't make it to one because you have to work, or you have, somewhere else you have to be, there's a lot of things so you can come and participate.
And I know one of the big ones, especially with, all of them are big, but Prentice Mobley, he used to do the Walk from Violence. And I know he's changed dates like over the years, but now it just really fits for June 18th around that weekend. So I know that's one of the big things that's really taking place that day. And that event has grown. I think the first time they did it was probably like 200 people. Then the second year, like, it doubled. Didn't do it one year because of COVID, but now so many people getting involved. So to just come out and walk with the community and so show some type of unity would be great.
This is another, I was gonna say, this is another example of how everyone can be involved. Right? Not just the people who are planning the events, but everyone in the community can find something on this list that they are willing to just show up for. And trust me, just showing up goes a long way, especially for those who are watching. for those who are trying to determine if this is a good thing or not.
Right.
When you show up, you endorse. And if you can just show up at one of these events, then Delray Beach's Juneteenth activities will be spectacular.
Yes.
And I think for people who have kids, I think bring your kids.
Yes.
Show your kids, like you said earlier, show them.
Yes.
This is what we're doing. This is how we participate. And I think more and more people saying, come on, be part of this, makes everybody want to come.
Because it's not about what you say,
Right.
it's about what you do.
1,000%.
I just want to say we were extremely intentional around the planning of our Juneteenth events, specifically because it's our responsibility, as we talked about, to one, educate others on our cultural history and the meaning of why do we even celebrate Juneteenth. Charlene has already corrected us to say that June 19th is Texas's Emancipation Day.
Exactly.
But Florida has its own Emancipation Date in May.
May 20th.
Right. So, unless we teach the accuracy of historical events, cultural accounts, then what will we have? You know, how will we address the future?
We can't depend on the textbooks in the schools. We can't depend on those textbooks at all.
Or the internet. Even
Or the
worse,
internet.
the internet.
Searching for words, and I'm an educator by heart. I'm searching for words to even say because it's incumbent upon us to make sure that our youth are aware of who they are so that we can create the future that we want to see. We have to be the change, and I'm really proud of Delray. Like, I'm super, super proud of Delray because even after 2 years of isolation and things not being, you know, the way that we're accustomed to them being, we found a way to just come together virtually initially in unison to say this is what we want to do for our community, this is how we want to educate our community, and this is a call to action. It's not just a fun day at the park. You're going to experience a walk against violence, but you're also going to see our faith-based community come together. You're going to see youth coming out to perform and, you know, speak up and use their voices. You're going to see families engaged, our seniors engaged. You wait till you see the Pompey Park seniors.
Oh, I can't
Never
wait.
seen the Pompey Park seniors. You're in for a treat. So it's something that we're inviting not just Delray residents to, but other communities as well to come and participate and learn and then take it back, pay it forward so that we can continue to grow that seed of cultural competency.
I like the collaboration.
Yes.
I love that.
Power
I
and
love that
partnership.
part. Yes, yes. And it's not, you know, a lot of times when events are taking place, like it's usually, oh, I want everybody to come to my event. I don't care about them going to that event. And so I'm not going to do my event on this. But I think the collaboration, when we all come together, now we can support each other. Absolutely. You know, so I think that is great. So I'm happy that, I don't know who ideal it was, but you guys did a wonderful job.
Can I just thank once again the CRA for their everlasting support of the activities that we are doing. CRA is on. Delray Beach CRA, awesome.
I agree.
But you know what, you mentioned something really, really great when you talk about redevelopment, and you talking about redevelopment. A lot of people thinking about physical structures, you know, within the community, but you're talking about redeveloping us. You know,
Community. It gets people out. I mean, the tie-in is that when you have these activities and events, it gets people here. That's the whole point, is you want people, especially to come to the West and see the redevelopment, see our project on 5th that you mentioned, to see the Spady Museum, to see the infrastructure on the streets, to hopefully then invest as well and bring up the whole community. So that's why I really think it ties all together. We're not a social agency, so these are not social. To me, they're opportunities to see the redevelopment work.
And you know what that does also? It is a sense of community and it's just belonging.
Exactly.
You know, you talk about that healing, and now that brings that community. Remember we talk about it takes a village. So people really didn't really come out. Now you come out, get to know your neighbors, you get to know the kids, you can see the kids. So now I think that's really what I really like about it. And that's one thing that I missed about Delray from when I was growing up. You know, so but I love it that you guys bring that back.
That was the intention, to bring everybody out to just say, hey, check on your strong friends.
Right.
How are people doing? How can we assist you? How can we serve you? And Healthier Delray Beach's mission is to then turn back to our partners, our community, our local partners, and our countywide partners, our systems partners, to say, this is what our community is expressing as their challenges, and we're able to be highly responsive to that. So there's a layering of intention there, And we just, we're grateful that we're able to see so much unity and so much intention embedded in it, so that the action and the impact becomes greater, because that's what it's all about.
Well, y'all hit a home run. Y'all hit a home run. I only see this growing.
Awesome.
I only see it growing.
Every
Y'all hit a
year.
home run, big time. So
And
now,
come and check out one of the many, or all of them, if you can make it to all of them.
will this be available
you have
online
to
so
come.
people can
Yeah,
see?
where can we get this?
Where can they go? Where can they find this information?
Well, it will be on all of our websites.
Okay.
So
Yes.
we're
Okay.
finishing it up today. So we'll
Yep.
be blasting it
So I
out.
don't
when
rip it
starts
apart
here.
before you.
Please don't parent. But we have feedback.
But I'm the point of contact,
Oh,
so
okay. Yes, Kenya.
please, by all means, if you want to get involved, if you want to be a vendor, if you want to be a performer, if you just want to come and share information, call me. My number is 561-703-8691, 561-703-8691, and my email address is kenya.delray@htpbc.org.
All of that. What she said.
Call her.
All right. Well, anything else you guys want to share about the event surrounding Juneteenth? Anything that we left out? I know we touched on a lot of different things, but I just want to make sure we get all the information out to our viewers.
I'm sure there's more.
Well, there's always more.
Yeah. Come out and celebrate.
Come out and
Come out
celebrate.
and celebrate. Yes.
All right. Thank you guys very much.
Thank
All right. Wow.
I know.
Got to definitely take a look at that calendar and see
Yes.
what events.
There's going to be a lot of amazing things.
I agree.
So you want to bring on our next guest?
Yes. So we're going to bring on Diana, who's actually.
No.
Oh.
Miss Margaret.
Oh, I'm sorry. Miss Margaret Newton for the Sankofa Study Group. Let's go ahead. Where's Miss Margaret? Oh,
Hi.
come on in, Miss
How are
Margaret.
you? Welcome.
How you doing, Miss Margaret? Doing pretty good. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, we're gonna scoot on over again. We're doing musical chairs today.
Miss Margaret.
Yes, sir.
So I'm pretty sure the Sankofa. Can you tell us what that stands for and what that means?
A Sankofa means looking back so that you can move ahead with knowledge and with speed.
Oh, okay. Watch out now.
Love it.
Looking back so that you know what happened in your past, and then as you move forward with that knowledge, move quickly.
Oh, I like it.
Let me just go ahead and say right now, Margaret is a former educator. So if you don't want the whole answer, don't ask her.
I love it.
All right. So, Miss Margaret.
Yes, sir.
What ties you in with the Spady Museum? What ties you in with Juneteenth? What ties the Sankofa Study Group into the events and into this cultural museum?
Well, to answer your first question first, this has been a friend for my Lord. How many years?
Don't say.
You got a friend in me.
I do, and
I don't know what that comes
this
from.
friend, when her mom was working here, she became in charge. And then after mom decided to retire, she became really in charge. And she has brought a number of different, as you heard a few moments ago, a number of different people, a number of different groups. And it's the differences in looking at how we're looking at our world that makes her so special. She doesn't do the same old,
Nope.
She has this group, that group, our group, who are different, but all aiming for the same thing.
I agree.
That's beautiful.
And she's taking this Spady Museum to another level.
Absolutely.
No, this is something that could have just died
Absolutely.
over time. But I think with her and her carrying this museum really on her back and making it her baby, she made sure to. And I have to agree from a kid and looking at everything that you've done, to see the events that's taking place here, to look at the renovations that are taking place on the inside and the programs that you're bringing, it's awesome. So
Remember when we were growing up here in Delray? Remember when we were growing up a long time ago and Delray seemed there wasn't much going on. And we would go through school, we would graduate, we would go away to college, and we'd say, we're not coming back. What's there to come back to in Delray? Well, I had the same experience. So when I took over this organization, I made a promise to myself. There will not be a school child that matriculates through school system without knowing that there is a rich Black history here in Delray, right? Whether they do decide to go away and not come back, they need to know that there is something to come back to, and it belongs to us all.
Yes, and I was one of those kids that say, you know what, once I graduate, I'm not coming back. There was nothing really going on. There was no opportunities for me.
And look at you now.
Yes,
Mr. Delray.
But it took me to go different places and do different things in other communities to realize, say, you know what, I want to do this in my own community.
Exactly.
So,
And along with that thought, with those thoughts, Charlene, when we thought of what else do we need in Delray Beach and Boynton Beach, and actually the scope kept growing wider and wider and wider, and now Sankofa is an international group. We have people from Spain who are part of our group, people from Senegal, people from Ghana, South Africa, as well as the Americas, especially the Caribbean. And all of these people meet, well, not the ones in Spain, we do it online on Spain, at the international folks, but we meet here at the Spady Museum. And we're able to meet because it's here. And we did search for many other places in the area for a group, a like-minded group wanting to study the African diaspora, wanting to not only confront the problems that we have, but find some kind of solution to those problems. And the solutions are not easy, as we all see ourselves.
So if there's people out there that really want more information, or even to want to come to some of the meetings, how would they?
Absolutely. And when they do come, and they come, right now we have been working online, of course, as the world has been doing. But again, Spady has opened their doors to us, and we will have our first in-person meeting this Saturday at 2:30, from 2:30 to 5:30, at this place that would not be here in this form. And again, I have to keep saying,
I agree.
Thank you.
Give it to her.
I have to keep
Give them her flowers right now. R.A.T.
And
And
so
the
it's,
cake later.
More cake.
and as I'm talking, I heard everyone speaking, and I'm very impressed. I am very impressed. And I'm easily impressed, by the way, but it's okay to be impressed. Because there's so many wonderful things happening in the area, but there are also some things that are not so pretty going on. And the Sankofa Study Group came together of like-minded people to try to not only study the greatness of the African diaspora, but how to use that greatness to forward our people. And when I say our people, I'm speaking of the people of the African diaspora, but we can't do it alone, because we're not on the planet alone, are we? And so our group includes many different kinds of people, both intellectually different, spiritually different, socially different, racially different. And it's those differences that come together that makes for some lively conversations and also some lively movements of where do we go from here. So you can get in touch with us by contacting Pyramid Books. It is the largest online bookstore east of the Mississippi.
Okay.
Wow.
Pyramid Books, largest, it was physical, and its physical store, it was the largest Black bookstore east of the Mississippi. Now they're the largest online Black books
That's great.
east of the Mississippi at 561-731-4422. We're also at www.sankofastudies.com.
Okay, awesome.
Look us up and come on down.
Thank you very much.
And I wanted to emphasize that our group, the Sankofa Study Group, incorporated, by the way, we are a nonprofit 501c3 group, welcomes chaos. We welcome controversy because you must go through it in order to do it.
Exactly.
You got to go through it. So we are not afraid to confront what many kind of shy back from. We confront it The book we're reading now is Black Power by Amos Wilson. Just the title threw a lot of people off. Oh, do we belong here? You sure do.
Right.
And come on down. So, hope to see everybody on Saturday.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Make sure you go check out pyramidbooks.com
Yes,
and look up the St. Culture Study Group if you guys want to be part of it. They'll be meeting here this Saturday at 2:30. 2:30, yes. 2:30 to 5 p.m.
Yes, that is correct.
Oh, well, thank you very much for joining us, Ms. Lee.
And thank you very much. And shall I leave?
Yes, I'm going with you.
Oh, together?
Yes, let's go together.
Hold the shirt fast. Sit down. Let me see. I'll hug you later, but thank you.
Thank you so much.
May I?
Thank you. Yes, of course.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Wow, what a great show. And we still have two more guests together. So one more group.
Yes. And I mean, with these two young ladies and what they're doing with the chamber and the Do Good Delray idea that came out that was born, with partnering with for-profit and non-profit businesses here in Delray to do great things. You know what? I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Let's go ahead and bring Chloe and Diana on. You guys come on and join us.
Come on, ladies. So, you guys are the co-chairs of the nonprofit council here in town.
Yes.
That's correct. Co-chairs and best friends. We have. Thank you. It works out. We love to work together, and then we get to go to
I got a friend in me.
That's his song today. That's his song
I love that.
for the
I love
day.
that.
I am loving his singing.
Toy
Can
Story.
we just keep that going? I know. Acoustics in here are fantastic.
I know. It makes me sound good. I'm telling
Between
you,
him
I'm
and
singing
Edward,
all
we're
day.
good. We're good in here all day,
I
guys.
need it. I love it.
So tell us, how did this get started? And look at how it's grown and exploded in a beautiful
It
way.
really has, yeah. Well, I mean, gosh, the theme today is really perfect. This
Yes.
collaboration, I love what Kenya said and what everyone has said here today about not being able to do it alone. We have some incredible nonprofits in Delray Beach, but we also have incredible for-profits. And I think the Delray Beach community is really blessed in that we have some really large nonprofits and for-profits and also some smaller ones as well. So, being in the nonprofit council, I think for 5 years now, we've been a part of it, at least, yes.
Wow.
We've seen for-profits come out and just want to figure out ways to help. And, it was hard at first. We're like, well, donations, we're all always asking for donations, but it's so much more than that. It's really the support. I love what we're talking about today about coming out to events, just being present and being a part of the community and really showing what is here and what we have to offer. So we sort of developed the idea that there has to be some way that we can collaborate. We're always doing events. And so it came out of that, and it has certainly grown. We had 14 events last year. We raised over $30,000.
Wow.
Yes, it was incredible. And this year we already have 8 that are registered with dates and ready to go, and it's not till October. Guys, we're just getting started. Yeah.
Insane, girls. I mean, really.
It's amazing.
And the thing that I think is so beautiful is, like we keep talking about, is this collaboration and how you have so many nonprofits and so many for-profits that really want to help, and they find the perfect partner for their business, because we all have different needs with both nonprofits and businesses.
Exactly.
And the way that you guys have been able to, and I know Miss Lynn was also in there matchmaking and finding a way for the people to connect.
She's a true matchmaker.
But it is, and there, no matter what your business or organization is, there's somebody that you can get involved with that has a similar mission.
Right, and it's just what you said, some of these partnerships, they're existing, and some of them are brand new, and it gives Lynn the opportunity to play matchmaker, which she loves. But it's a really great opportunity to grow and expand in your community, or even outside of that community too, and just meet new people and instruct. I love the educating and instructing on what you're doing for others in your community and what you're passionate about.
And I was going to ask a question, but
Yeah.
I guess I can't ask that question. But all of the events I've seen, they were very creative. The different events that took place, I was like, wow, this is dope. I was going to ask a question like, which one was your favorite?
Yeah,
I
you
can't
can't ask that
I can't ask that question. All of them were
They're
great.
all wonderful.
But all of them were different. And, I mean, they were unique. I'm like, wow, this was great. And I seen other organizations coming out to support each other at their own events as well. So that was really big.
Really
and you're actually the Sweet Dream Makers are actually doing a great event with Opportunities.
Yes,
With the partnership. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
No, I thought it was like a
It is. It's a great.
The last time we were at Opportunities, at the show, I think just like a relationship ignited.
It was so organic, which is it really speaks to the the corporate culture of Delray, the collaborative, not competitive spirit of these nonprofits, and like even hearing everyone speak today from Spady, it's like Diana and I are in the back, we're looking at our phones. How can we go do yoga? How can we support Juneteenth? And like it's not just showing up, but showing up intentionally and like going with a friend to continue those conversations and to continue spiritual, mental, emotional, like historical growth. And it's not just Do Good Delray for October.
Right.
Do Good Delray is really
day.
like every day you're Delray. And that's what happens. The last time I was on the show, we were hosting it at Opportunities, and John was there, who owns it, and I was speaking about Sweet Dream Makers. Our charity gives out brand new beds and bedding to children all over Palm Beach County. Many right here in Delray, over 500 beds in Delray since we started. And John's like, oh my gosh, there's children sleeping on the floor, sharing beds, on air mattresses right here in our own backyard. He's like, we need to do something about this. And it was that organic that like he didn't know. And it wasn't just, okay, now I'm aware. He said, I want to do something about it. And that's really what all of the nonprofits and how the corporate partners have come together. But John said, let's do an event. Let's do it on June 15th. Amanda and Jamel are hosting it with me because they were equally inspired.
It was, it was like just hearing you talk and we all had the moment of, oh my gosh, there's kids without beds.
Yeah.
Like we got to make sure these kids have beds. I mean, and to Jamel's point, how can kids perform their best at school and be able to grow and thrive when they don't have the basic necessity of a comfortable bed to sleep?
Just think about our night. Sometimes when you don't get that rest that you want, so just think about these kids. And they still got to wake up early in the morning, go catch the bus. They got to get to school.
And then they even sit in their chair.
They got to sit in the chair for 45 minutes and listen. Or 2 hours or whatever it may be. But without having that bed or having that great night's sleep, But I love what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
And so a bed per child. Like, so if people want to get involved with Sweet Dream Makers, right? I think you said it costs what, $250?
$250.
And it gets a whole bed.
Yeah, provided by City Mattress, one of our incredible corporate partners.
Right.
Regardless of Do Good Delray or not, they provide beds to us, and they're delivered right to the children's door, their entire family. Cribs
so
for babies,
exciting.
and it's delivered in 48 hours.
Wow.
Hunger will continue. So many of these other issues will continue, but we can solve bedlessness in 48 hours. And so that's what John was inspired to do. So Beds and Brews Pajama Party
It's going to be fun.
was born. And so we invite everyone in the community to come out on June 15th at Opportunities. You know John, he's making it funky.
Get ready.
Fun.
It's going to be a party.
Music. Wear your PJs and just come out to support a great cause. See the amazing organic way that people are coming together, and it's people that are like-minded but also like-hearted, and I think that's where we all kind of connect. So we invite you to come to the best pajama party for a cause, and I've got these amazing hosts to help me with it. So excited.
Even if you don't have your pajamas or you can't come out, you can drop off pillows, like drop off some brand new pillows to Opportunities to John.
Or buy a ticket, because the ticket sales are going to buying beds. So even if you can't go, buy some tickets, because that money is going to go towards helping these kids buy
or purchase a bed.
Or
purchase a bed.
Purchase a bed.
There you go, Jamel. Just buy a bed.
Our goal is to try to sell 5 beds off of this show.
Yes.
So who out there is going to step up and buy some beds for these kids?
Let's do
Mitch
it.
Katz, I know you're watching, Mitch Katz.
Yes. And you can pool your money with friends too. You don't have to buy it all on your own. If each of you contribute $10 in your office, and you can
Make it
buy
happen.
a bed for some kids.
I like the way you think.
I think that's a great initiative.
Yeah. You can
Yes.
go to sweetdreammakers.org to purchase your tickets for Beds and Brews. 100% of the ticket cost is going straight to our program. Thank you so much, John. You were like this boozy brewery angel that just like came into my life. Or you can donate, learn more about Sweet Dream Makers, but it really is the essence of Do Good Delray. We're doing ours in June. I'm already pushing John to do this again in October.
She is. I saw the emails.
I know. Beds and Brews 2, and the first one hasn't happened yet.
Yes.
And do you have anything else that you want to add about your organization or anything you're working on?
Well, we did our Duca Delray event last year. We partnered with the Delray Beach Open, which was really incredible.
So fun.
Yes, it was amazing. It was really a first time, and they were such incredible partners. Unfortunately, it got rained out, but I think it made for an amazing event, actually. The wetter, the better, right? So that'll be great. It was a really great event, though, and I think there's a lot of great events that we have to look forward to this year. There was, a martini competition. The Dirty and Delray, right? The Dirty Martini competition.
So cute.
So many good competitions out there, honestly, that they
And
had.
it's all pouring right back into this community. So whether you're interested in being a corporate sponsor or bolstering an event to help with support or bringing your employees out, I think the entire month is about opening your mind, opening your heart, exposing yourself to the awareness of the needs right here in this community, and like really let your heart break to these things. Like whether it's beds or whether it's Haiti or whether it's the environment, just expose yourself to that. And I think we'll all just grow together, continue to grow together. So we encourage you to participate, to attend, to become a sponsor, all of those things. And that can be done through Lynn Van Letten at the Delray Chamber to get involved, to get more information about it.
Yeah, make sure you get them booked if you're interested. Find your local partnership.
On the calendar.
There's so many good partnerships to be had, and I think last year was really a testament to what's going to be for this year. Collaboration, right? So much to happen.
That's great. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate
And we
it.
will see you on the 15th.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we can both
5 beds, guys. We gotta get 5 beds for these kids. What an inspiring show.
Very inspiring. You got a lot of things happening. The Juneteenth festivities that's going on. You got the Sankofa, the meeting group that's taking place this Saturday.
Yoga.
I mean, he's doing yoga at 8:30 every Saturday
On the beach.
On the beach, and I think
then
on the 21st they're having their event here
be
as
beautiful.
well. So some beautiful things. I have to give it up to Miss Farrington.
Give her
for
another round of
everything
applause.
that
I mean,
she's
really.
doing here at the Spady Museum, and thanks to the CRA as well. So.
And for all the community partners that
Yes.
step up and get involved.
I totally agree. And also, thanks to our viewers.
Yeah.
Staying with us. We love you. Have a Delray day. Peace out.